everyone, welcome to 9 Instance, episode 23, covering Major Crimes, season 3, episode 4, Letting It Go. So this one we had a very interesting case. So on the crime side, we had this guy who was murdered, and it turns out he was like a serial rapist, and he had raped this girl while he was in the military. He was a contractor and the girl was in the military, and then he like was raping all these other women, and there was another one who he had raped and like taken on a few dates and then raped her on the second date. He had a deadbolt lock on the door that would make it so that you can't get out without him unlocking with the key, even from inside. So it was very bizarre, and they found that he had his throat cut and he was stabbed quite a number of times. The music was so loud, and that's what made the police come, because the neighbors complained that the music was too loud. He got away with it with the girl who was in the military because she had told them, but it turned into a he said, she said, which doesn't every rape turn into a he said, she said? Yeah. But then the blonde-haired girl, he also got away with it then, but then not really, because she went back and murdered him. The military girl was drunk.
She had known enough details that she said that she killed him.
Because she heard him on the news. On the personal front, we had Rusty and his mom, Sharon Beck again. Rusty Beck's mom is talking about still getting out of rehab and going to this halfway house. She gave Rusty a list of things that she'll need for the halfway house, and one of those things is a prescription. We find out that, with Andy's help by the way, that the prescription is bogus and is not only not from the hospital she's in, but is a forgery. And it's something that would help people who were addicts, like, intensify their high.
It can either help with anti-anxiety, or it will control the side effects to heroin.
So she's lying to Rusty again.
Is she ever not?
Wait, is this a shocker?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
Most of the personal side was about Rusty and his mother. He finally figured it out that she was BSing him, because she went like off on him when he told her he wasn't filling this prescription, saying that she put up with him being a terrible child and because he was gay, and
she'd always known he was gay.
Yeah, and like just went along with it and acted like nothing was wrong. Like she was just being a total bitch.
I wanted to jump through the TV and punch her.
We all did. Like, if he went home and told Ryder what she was saying,
I wish
it would have been a whole
conversation.
You know, she would have went off on her. Like she wanted to with Daniel John.
Told her.
You know who? Rusty.
Rusty told Sharon probably what happened.
I don't think she would have. I don't think he would have told her the details. No.
He might have. To an extent.
I don't think he... Well, okay, yeah, to an extent. But, like, I don't think he would have told her the whole gay thing. Only because of how she acted when Daniel punched him in the face. She was like, I'm going to go over and shoot him in the head. So, we gotta get through that.
But you also know she wouldn't actually do that.
Rusty showed us how much of an adult he is because...
He got balls!
His mom kept calling him because she got out of this quarter-pointed... whatever.
Rehab.
Which I don't know how the hell she got out in the first place. Because if it's quarter-pointed, she had... I know, but they wouldn't have... You think she did her time?
Yeah.
I don't feel like she...
like 90 days or 60 days or something.
She was only there for 40 last episode.
We don't know how much time has gone by.
As time goes
I knew that was coming. I knew that was... Let's just say she only made it halfway to the halfway house.
That's not. Her friend, Sarah was supposed to pick her up, and Rusty's like, who the hell's Sarah?
Yeah. Weren't they supposed to drop you off?
Exactly. The hospital, she had told him that the hospital was going to drop her off. And that was like a day before that she was even there. And she's calling him at like 11:30 at night. He's like,
the next day.
Right, the next day. So he's like, no. So he told her he wasn't picking her up. Go Rusty. I am so proud of him. As that character has come a long way.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of the leaps and bounds he's making with his mother, especially this season. He's finally figured out that she's a piece of work, to put it simple. We have a lot of Sharon and Amy this episode.
Yes.
And Amy was the one who figured out that the girl from the military did not kill this guy. And she went about that in such a way that was just beautiful. They need to have more Amy stories, because we know some about Amy. She alluded to the fact that she had a boyfriend. I'm thinking it might be Malcolm Jamal Warner, who's coming back 7th episode. What did we like about this episode?
The whole interaction with Rusty and his mom. Like, how can you not like that? Like, here's this
Rusty.
boy.
Grown up. He grew balls, remember?
But yes, he did.
Literally.
For like the first like season or two, he wanted nothing more than like his mother's approval and like her love, and finally she's back and she's dicking him around again.
Yeah. And she even alluded that the reason they left him was because he was gay.
Yeah. But like here's like she's digging him around and he's finally realized that she's not who he wants in his life.
Like that. I liked how much Amy we had because we don't usually have a lot of her. And she's like a very interesting character that we just don't know much about. We know she's in the military. We now know she has a boyfriend.
That's about it.
That's kind of it.
I think the two characters we know the least about is Amy and Sharon.
Yeah.
Raider. And I'm going to put my feminist hat on.
Put it to the side. You gotta put it to the side. Okay, good. Thank you.
About that whole situation. Like, we know everything about Flynn. Practically, we know more about Flynn.
Actually, we don't, though. All we know about
his
Flynn...
family front. Okay. And then he's a recovering alcoholic.
That's kind of what we know.
He's had issues with his family, but that's still more than majority of the characters.
We've seen Tao's son. We've seen his wife back in the closer. We know all about Sanchez for the most part, except for his wife who died. We don't really know much about her. We know, like, a little bit about Buzz, that he has a sister and a big family. His mom cooks a lot. And we don't know much about Morales, who wasn't in this episode, but we don't know much about him, and I want to learn more about him, too. And Hobbs, Amy, and Morales.
Raider.
And Raider. But Raider we're going to find out all this season, apparently.
I can't wait. A shit storm is brewing, and it's coming in what episode?
I think
9? 8 or 9?
7, 8, and 9, I think, are the big ones. What did we not like about this episode?
Rusty's mom basically trying to blame all of her problems on him.
Literally all of her problems.
It's all his fault that she was such a terrible mom and did drugs, because she knew from the time he was little that he was gay.
A person being gay is what buys you drugs. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That whole confrontation that happened towards the end of the episode was crazy good. The acting, both Ever Carradine was fantastic. Like, we're not supposed to like her. And she made that very, very clear to us. Mm-hmm. And she did an amazing job doing it. And Graham Patrick Martin really blew me away this episode, too. He was fantastic.
He's a good actor.
He really is, though. He really is a good
actor. The DA.
Yeah, the DA. Well, I didn't really give one way.
It was shady how that whole case went on. But like, you could tell, like, when he's trying to still pin everything on the corporal, that I was like, he's in love with that woman, like Jackie. The woman who actually killed this man.
Allegedly, because he never said he was.
Well, you could tell by, like, because he was still trying to, like, push it off on this soldier.
Yeah.
Because she drinks a lot, and she already had confessed to doing it when everyone knew she didn't do it.
The guys were like...
The guys were like, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Blah, blah, blah. And Sharon and Amy were just like...
No. That's what I was getting to. No. Taylor, why were you there? Like, why are you there? I don't get why all the press was there immediately. I don't get why he thought to talk to the press immediately.
So, like, when he had said something about the press conference to Sharon, she goes, why? Because I'm a woman?
Yeah. There weren't many dislikes. It was a really great episode. What are we rating it?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Me too. 9.5. The only reason I can't give it a 10 is because of Rusty's mom, who was just a little too evil. I mean, like, she's bad and she's an addict and she is doing these things for a reason, but...
I'm not getting a 10 for the sheer fact that she's trying to blame everything on Rusty.
Rusty's sexuality.
No!
What are we predicting? We didn't see any of the previews. Okay, anyway, so I'm hoping he doesn't speak to his biological mother anymore.
I hope he goes back to his biological mother and tells her she needs to give up her parental rights.
Rusty's almost 18.
Yeah, but still, she can still give up her rights.
She could. But if he's 18, it really doesn't matter one way or the other. You want her to get... You want that to be a thing.
I want that to be a thing. I want that knife to go in there and him to twist it with him going to her and asking her to give up her parental rights. For him to have that closure.
I was going to say...
Yeah, I know what you're probably going to say.
What?
Something to do with drugs and her and... Because she's been clean for so long... And a lot of time when people have been clean for a long period of time and then they go back to do drugs, they usually OD. Yeah.
I'm not wishing ill will, but I'm wishing ill will.
She's wishing ill will.
Isn't Andy's daughter supposed to come in very, very soon? Yeah. I'm wondering if Sharon will go along with that.
I don't think she will.
I think she might.
I don't think she'll completely throw him under the bus, but I don't think she'll be 100% on board with it.
Like, I don't think they're going to be making out in the middle of the,
as much as you would love for that to happen.
No, I want them to keep things separate because I don't want people at the office to know right away. Provenza has said numerous times that he knows that Andy likes her.
Question of the
episode. We had so many responses last episode. We're going to pick Joey Sales. Thanks for watching, buddy. Even though it's the first time we've heard from you, and we're very disappointed that you haven't contacted us before because we love
she loves the show.
Yay! You're in the running for a cool prize, just like everybody else is who comments.
Yay!
Remember, it's going to be at the end of the season that we'll pick somebody out of a hat. So we're going to throw all your little names in there. It doesn't matter how often or how much you're commenting, but just keep doing it. This week's question of the episode is, do you think Rusty is going to try to get back in touch with his mom, or do you think he's just done? Next week we have episode 5 of season 3 titled Do Not Disturb. Don't disturb him.
No.
It's... yeah. On the crime side,
on the cream side.
And the cream side, you can't laugh about the crime. It's very serious.
I'm not laughing about the crime. I'm laughing about the asshole next to me. How she said crime.
Knock it off.
On the second date.
Are you gonna make fun of everything I say? I was stuck in a Liverpudlian accent like most of the day.
Oh, fabulous.
So this is good right now.
We are just heads. Have you watched all seasons of The Closer?
Yeah. I did look it up on the wiki though. Like that's how I researched.
The wiki.
Don't judge me.
The wiki.
Wiki. That's what I was getting to.
Jackass.
Asshole.
What is happening?
That's $1 million question that no one can answer.
I feel like a conehead when I say that. Do not disturb.
You talk about the coneheads. Wait a minute.
All the time.
She talks about the coneheads all the time.
I reference them at least once a day.
At the very least. Like,
at least once
how many times
a day.
have you seen that movie?
Several times actually. I own it on DVD. Don't judge me, I love Jane Curtin.
All I do is judge you. Imagination. Sorry, that was SpongeBob.